Late Thursday night, authorities announcing the alleged gunman in the Brown University and MIT shootings was found dead in a New Hampshire storage facility from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A stunning twist in the case: the suspect, Portuguese national Claudio Neves Valente, was a former student at Brown and attended college in Portugal with MIT professor Nuno Luario. Former FBI investigator Bill Daley joining us now. And Bill, I think the biggest question is, what is the motive? How are they going to determine what the motive was? There's no note left behind. We have very little to go on. Where do you begin?
Yeah. Well, Griff, certainly great to be with you this morning, and certainly a very interesting and involved case. It's now a multi-jurisdictional case for the FBI. We have Massachusetts, we have New Hampshire, we have Rhode Island. We even have apparently where he lived down in Miami. And so what they're going to be doing is they're going to look for closely. We now know that he had some intersection both with the professor, the MIT professor, as well as Brown University, where he had been studying apparently for his doctorate up until maybe 2003 or so. But they need to kind of comb below that surface. They need to kind of dig deeper and understand what that intersection was, what motivated him. They're also still looking, Griff, for anyone who could be knowledgeable of, either complicit with, wittingly or unwittingly, in his plan. So what has he been doing for the past almost 23 or so years? And was there anything, and I think this is where the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, the BAU, storied BAU, will come into play. They're going to look to see if there was any, what they call leakage. People kind of commonly call that breadcrumbs, but it's kind of what happened. Was there drip, drip, drip? Was there something out there that was festering with him that led him to commit these horrible acts?
And Bill, you put your finger on, I think, such an important and challenging part of this is that authorities say that essentially from 2001 to 2017, they really don't know where he was living. Was he abroad in Portugal? Was he here in the U.S.? And yet we also know that the discovery of him came about because of a homeless man that was living on campus at Brown that got suspicious. That really broke open the case to track the car. But we still haven't heard that there's any real digital footprint or social media presence of Neves Valente.
Yeah, exactly. What has been his profile? What has he been doing? In a way, Griff, this kind of reminds me, there are two cases that kind of pop to my mind with regard to kind of people coming out of the shadows in the past. It was the tragic shooting at the Covenant School down in Tennessee in 2023, where a former student, who was at 28 years old, came back and committed that horrible act. And then there was also an incident, you talk about on a science kind of a level, is that there was a shooting in New York back in 2017 where a medical doctor, returned after several years of having been dismissed or not getting a position he wanted, and going into the hospital and actually shooting a fellow doctor. So sometimes these things, Griff, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. I was not a part of the BAU, but I have worked with those professionals over the years in my post-FBI career. They know what's going on. They can really determine, what was festering. Was this something where someone's life didn't turn around, where they felt as though they could have, should have, would have? If only Brown, if only the professor who he went to school with, hadn't gotten in the way or hadn't helped him, or we just don't know what those motives are, but it may be something along those lines.
Well, the FBI certainly has their work cut out for them. A lot of questions, few answers. Bill Daley, thank you for taking time.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.